Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds is an experience more than it is a game. An experience that inherently, as it was designed, is a once-in-a-lifetime one. The first time that you play Outer Wilds is the only experience that has any difficulty or gameplay elements to it at all, as the game itself operates using your knowledge of it as your only form of progression. If someone asked me to, though, right now, having not played the game in years, I guarantee you I could beat it in 10 minutes, just by using what I learned about the world around me when I played it the first time. Using that subject as the design philosophy from a development standpoint can be a risky one, as it removes a major component of games in its wake, that being replayability. However, the trade-off for this is that whatever the game is trying to say is compounded, having more weight as the feelings of finishing it can only be felt once in a lifetime.
In the game itself, you play as an alien living on a planet called Hearth. You're going out on your first spacefaring expedition, following in the footsteps of several astronauts still out there exploring, that you can even meet throughout your travels. However, as you're about to leave on your first flight, a strange sculpture in your local museum, made by a long-dead civilization that lived in this system called the Nomai, turns to you, opens its eyes, and does something to your brain. You're freaked out, as well as your character is, understandably so. But nonetheless, you head back to your ship and begin your explorations. This is where the game lets go of the reins entirely and lets you explore the solar system to your heart's content. About 20 minutes pass, and you are just starting to get your space legs when you hear a strange rumbling accompanied by an even odder interlude. The music is dramatic, even climactic, if you will. In the confusion, you look around frantically for the source. I mean, you're in a new place that you're unfamiliar with. But then you look up. You watch as the sun starts to redden. The surface bubbles more and more as it shrinks and brightens. And finally, it implodes in a gargantuan supernova, spanning the entire solar system. Most players look on in confusion, and some will even try to run from it. However, it doesn't help much aside from maybe buying you a second or two more.
And then your eyes open, just as they did when you first started your game. It sets in, after a bit of time and some character dialogue, that you're trapped in a 22-minute time loop where the sun goes supernova, destroying you and your entire system. But your knowledge is brought back by that statue in the museum. In comes our player and character's motive. There's nothing explicitly telling you what to do, but most players go with, okay, this is a game. There must be a way to win, so let's find a way to stop it. So you do. You explore your solar system, piecing together remnants of the history of the Nomai, finding details about how they were trying to make the sun go supernova. You find leads that lead you to more leads. You learn about the world around you and that pieces of the world around you follow the laws of quantum mechanics. That they can be and do whatever they want as long as they're not being observed. You keep pushing, adding piece after piece, loop after loop, finally making it to the location rumored by ancient texts to be causing the disaster. After all your searching, you finally have a chance to learn enough to save everything, everyone. But then you read the text inside the device said to be capable of making the sun go supernova. This machine isn't doing anything. It's now just a glorified decoration orbiting the sun. The sun itself, as well as every other star, have simply come to the end of their lifespans, burning up in a spectacular display of destruction. And with that, you realize as the player, there's nothing you can do. The system will blow up no matter what you do. Your purpose for searching is pointless, null and void. But the game doesn't change. The credits don't play, there's no fanfare, no hopeless music, because the universe doesn't care. You're simply a random creature accidentally tied into a random set of events set up by a long-dead race because of tech you don't fully understand, designed for a purpose you don't fully understand, at the foreseeable end of the universe. So what do? The loop continues as normal. There's only one thing you can do, even without a cause to back it. Keep learning. You continue your search within your system, and as you search, you learn more about why the Nomai did this. They want to find something called the Eye of the Universe. In theory, it's the point from which the Big Bang occurred. They received a signal from it that they didn't understand, so they went out in search of it. They got close to it but couldn't pinpoint its location, so through an elaborate solar-wide project development, they devised a plan to find it. They would use a high-powered probe cannon that was so powerful it would destroy itself in the process. Then, they would track the information from the probe and send the information back in time 22 minutes using a method of time travel that they discovered while in the system. The only issue was the power requirements to send something back in time 22 minutes. So they attempted to blow up the sun in order to generate the power needed. With time resetting, once they got their data, they could stop, and the sun would never blow up in the first place. But when the system didn't work, they didn't have enough time to design a workaround before they were wiped out by an unpredictable cataclysmic event, killing nearly all life in the solar system. Now, the machines have been jump-started by the natural end of the sun's life cycle. You have the resources to find what they were looking for, so you search some more and find everything that you need to push off and find your goal, even managing to turn off the looping in the process. You find the Eye of the Universe. Your goal now is just to learn all you can. A far cry from the heroics of the original plan. You watch as you live past the 22 minutes, as the loop is stopped and you're far enough away from the sun to evade its effects. You watch on and wonder as your people are silenced for the last time, accepting the grim reality. The Eye is a space entirely dominated by quantum mechanics. So is the rest of the universe once there's no one left to see in the darkness left in the absence of the suns. You have a tender moment as your understanding of the world comes pouring out of you into the Eye, as it looks reminiscent of your home, what with your memories being the only tangible piece of data left in the universe. And as you experience the wonders of your own mind, you come to an endpoint. The Eye presents you with an image, a quantum image, something of infinite possibilities only defined by the observation of a conscious observer. In your insatiable desire for knowledge, you do the only thing you know to do at this point, to keep moving. You observe. You are greeted with the formation of a new universe, a new Big Bang, as your observation has collapsed the possibilities. The signal from the Eye was a distress signal, long from the past, reaching out to sentient life, drawing them to it to observe. You die in the explosion with no loop to save you. You die knowing all you could know. Let me remove myself from this for a moment. When I first started to play Outer Wilds, it was back in, I gotta say 2020, 2021. And that time in my life was very turbulent. That was, as many of us had to deal with, the time when COVID was at its peak. And on top of that, I was trapped in my home with a family that was, well, quite literally falling apart. It really messed with me. I was kind of always feeling worried or distraught about everything that was going on around me and how I could do the best that I could, or even just realizing that what I was doing felt pointless, and that no matter how hard I worked to try to make things better, nothing did anything. At least not in the grand scheme of things. But after I played through Outer Wilds, the game kind of recontextualized a lot of things for me. I interacted with my parents a lot in a very, not necessarily hostile, but conflicted zone. But when I played the game, I realized that some things are simply out of my control. And that's not to say you shouldn't do your best to fix things sometimes, but sometimes the reality of the situation is unsolvable for you. And when that happens, there's really one thing that you can do, and that's to, even in the darkest of situations, that's to enjoy what you can. Enjoy the little things. And Outer Wilds, going through it, even coming to terms with the futility of my original perspective, of my original goal of saving everyone. But then transforming that into something that meant a lot to me. Something that I wanted to push towards, and something that for me was just enjoying the inevitable ride. Outer Wilds taught me to enjoy life no matter what happens. And I will say now that I probably would never be the person I am today. I probably would never be where I'm at currently if it wasn't for the effect that this game had on me. And I just want to share that experience with others. But getting back to the script. Outer Wilds. It's a game, yes, but only in title. It is there as an experience, using the interactivity of the medium to reach the player on a deeper level than simply observing could possibly do. I learned that not everything is under my control and that that's okay. I can revel in my own life, in my own way, in my own moments, in my own time. I learned to value life the day I finished Outer Wilds. I learned the true meaning of the phrase, "It's not about the destination, it's about the journey." I learned that every experience can make me stronger, make me better, allow me to grow as long as I'm willing to let it. Today, I live by a simple motto. Life, if well lived, is long enough. Thank you, random chance of the world, for giving me the chance to experience you. I will never take that for granted.